Welcome everyone to Social Media 102 at our normal Thursday CB Career Development Day. So today is a continuation of our class from last week featuring the ever-talented Nicole Lewis. So she's gonna pretty much drive today. I will be watching the chat like she did for me last week and interjecting if I feel like I can add some value, but she's gonna be sharing some best practices on how to, find content, how to schedule it, all that good stuff. I'm not going to steal her thunder. She's just going to rock and roll with it. She is going to post an agenda in the chat if you're interested, and then also a hashtags for real estate document that I had given her. So that's in the chat if you want to grab those files. So without further ado, I will go ahead and just let Nicole roll with it.
I'm trying to find the agenda where I put it. Sorry.
Way to go.
I know. I just posted it. Why is it not showing up in here?
I see it.
You see it, Beth, but I don't think it's in there for everybody. Here it is. Perfect.
Oh, you sent it just to me.
You think you have to be logged in. Do you guys have it? The hashtags in the agenda? I'll repost it if I need to.
It's there, Anwa.
All right, cool. So, hi. We're going to go through Facebook first and kind of go through just general settings and understanding your business page, understanding your insights. I'm not going to touch so much about where to find content because I think Stephen did a great job of giving us ideas last week in terms of using that sheet that No Marketing provides us. And then if you find content that you consistently like, you can always go to those blogs themselves and continue to find research. The only thing I will say about content is that it's really important that you try to avoid sites where you have to sign in to read the articles, because you don't want to be turning your followers and your engagement, the people who engage with you, off by consistently clicking on links where they can't access the content you're trying to share. So anytime you're looking to share content, click on it yourself and make sure it's not a subscription site. Examples would be New York Times, Wall Street Journal. Most major newspapers are subscription sites, so you're going to likely want to source from other resources like blogs and industry blogs and things like that.
Inman is notorious for a paywall, so I wouldn't even bother sharing Inman stuff. I mean, it's really more industry related anyway, but their paywall is notoriously difficult. I mean, there's really no way around it. So just be aware of that.
So I thought I would just take us quite literally through all of these processes. If you have any questions or you'd like me to repeat a step, please don't hesitate. I'm going to start with personal profile settings because, as we talked about last week, having your personal page set to private to protect your privacy is really very important. Ultimately, that decision is up to you as to how many privacy settings you'd like, but it's something that we strongly encourage. So everybody's Facebook page, their home page on a PC pretty much looks the same. You're going to want to go to your personal actual profile. You'll see over here where you can edit actual profiles, and then the three dots are like, let's call them like, they access everything. So if you click view as first, it's going to take you what's into the public view. So you see this is what your profile looks like publicly. And that'll give you a good idea. Oh, that's how Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They're crazy. I'll give you a good idea of what the public is seeing if they were to click on your name. And if you think that you're sharing too much, you can go ahead and you can change those settings. If you wanted to then go back into your main page where you can edit, click on those three dots again and you go into timeline settings. And this is going to show you who can see. I mean, I don't need to walk you through each of these lines, but quite literally it walks you through who can post on your timeline, who can see things on your timeline. And there are options for friends, everyone, meaning anybody who's on Facebook can access it. And then you can make special arrangements for, you can set parameters like friends except for these people. You set it up however ultimately you'd like and what's comfortable for you. Also important is the privacy settings. This is setting you up for future posts and who can see those things. And these are options for you. Like if somebody posts you, it can give you, you can set it to let you know before it actually posts you. Like you can approve what it is that you're being posted in on other people's pages. So I always recommend going through this, and occasionally with Facebook updates, these things will be reset on your behalf. So it's important to go in every few months and check your privacy settings. Now we'll go into business page stuff. Now, this is the business page as you're going to see it. It's not how the public is going to see it. And the reason why is because you're an admin on your business page. And there are all of these settings up here, which we'll go through. I want to start here with your name and what your business page is. So obviously you can make it whatever you'd like, but the big industry or social media recommendation rather is making the name, the handle, which is what this is, your @ to be similar and easily findable to your actual name. So I'm going to give you an example using Water Street Kitchen here in Winchester. If I want to post a post about Water Street Kitchen and I type in Water Street Kitchen, this is a restaurant in Boston. It is not our Water Street Kitchen here in Winchester. Winchester Water Street's handle is WSK Winchester. And you see, I want to tag them, but look how complicated it is. I don't necessarily, I had to dig this up as an example, but if I went to dinner there and I wanted to tag the restaurant, it's not as easy as @ and their name. Now I have to dig, I have to find them, I have to identify them, then I can tag them, and that's a whole lot of work. What am I going to do? I'm just not going to tag them. So whatever you're branding yourself at, you want to make sure that your handle is easy to find. Like I'm Happy Homes VA, and I'm always Happy Homes VA on Instagram, on Facebook. So when you go to tag me as Happy Homes, I'll pop up easily. I don't even use Nicole Lewis. I went to put in Nicole Lewis Realtor, and there are a billion Nicole Lewis Realtors. So I said, let me find a vanity brand name for myself, and that's how I went about that. Is there any questions about usernames being easy and recognizable? It's something that a lot of people don't think about.
Yes, I don't usually tag that way. I usually go down to the button and push tag, and then I can type in the name, and you don't have to know the vanity name.
Not everybody tags that way.
Okay.
Like
yeah, I've never tagged the way that you tagged. And I'm not saying, I just never knew that you could tag that way.
You can. It's the easiest way to tag in a post when you're commenting or writing or referring to another business. Because if you were to go into a picture, for example, you can tag the photo, but even here, what happens if I write like there it is, because I just searched it on the page, so the cookies are keeping it. But if you write an actual post, you're going to ultimately tag that way.
Yeah, like as I said, I never tagged that way. I've always tagged with the little button, like when you scroll down where you can do location or whatever the other buttons are. That's how I've always tagged. But it's nice to know that we have a different option.
Right. So the reason why that option is important to review is because a lot of people don't tag through the tagging like you're talking about. And if you're writing a post about somebody, like, I don't know if those of you who might have seen on my personal page, I tagged Ty Winchester the other day. And in the physical post, I was writing about them. So I @ Ty Winchester and they popped up, as opposed to writing a generic post and then tagging that you're with somebody in that post, which is really the predominant difference between tagging on the both. So as your goal with your engagers and your followers and ultimately with your clients is you want them to be writing about you, or you want, if somebody comments about you, to be able to easily find you, as opposed to writing a post about you generally and then tagging you in that post. It shows up in two different ways. So this is the way to easily be found when you're being tagged as a part of the content. Does that help explain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions on that? No. Okay, we'll go through all of this, but I thought I would just reiterate the publishing tools piece. Here you have the insights, which I'm going to walk you through, and how you can see a correlation between your engagement and activity and how much you're posting. I'll show you and point out specifically what you should be looking for in there. Then we have the publishing tools, which Stephen posted a video about how to publish posts with ease and how to schedule them. And I just wanted to take you through a quick walkthrough and remind you again how to do that. So these are your published posts, everything that you have posted on your page. It's done by date, and everything shows how many people it reaches and what the engagement is. Then you have the scheduled posting. I haven't scheduled anything at this time, but effectively you want to take the content off of whatever pages you're pulling. Let's see, social articles to share. Here, I'll just quickly show you. So you want to take the content, or I'll paste it here, copy, create the post. And what you're looking at the bottom for a scheduled post versus an actual real-time post is these words, scheduled posting. I'm not going to actually schedule it, but I'll show you how to go about it. For example, Stephen here taught us that once this thumbnail has shown, you can take this away. I use a third-party tracker called Bitly. And the reason why I use that is because engagements are the number of likes, comments, or shares, and post clicks are any click on the post. Like sometimes you'll see more on the post, that's considered a post click. The post click on the insights does not refer specifically to how many people actually click on the article. So I use a third-party link shortener called Bitly, which tracks how many people are clicking on the articles itself that I'm posting. And then you're going to do it to your news feed here. You can share it to Instagram, but I would avoid it because article sharing on Instagram is challenging, and we'll go through that in a little bit. And then once you go into schedule a post, a really cool trick here is it tells you when it's adjusts based on your user engagement for the week. So here we go. You can see as soon as this feels like opening up, this shows you out of my 318 followers or people who like my page, when they're most often on Facebook. And they're saying here about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you get the most people who are following, and they recommend based on a mix of this and your engagement, what time you should be posting. And it's nice to look at that because if you're looking at that, it shows you, here I'll put up again. It shows you like a little bit of a dip in the morning, 7 o'clock, nobody's really on there. Most people are on here in the evening about 5 o'clock. Maybe you want to hit 1 o'clock, that's a good amount of people on, but it kind of gives you an idea of when everybody's on so you can decide what times you want to post. And I like to play around with it. There are some weeks when I have major, you get out of 318 people, you'll see a peak around noon or 11, and other weeks like this week, it's a peak at 5. So it's just nice to look at that when you're scheduling and try to schedule your posts in accordance with when most of your people are on. And then otherwise, if you want to pick your own date and time, you can go in here to custom, pick a date in the future, and then adjust the time. And then at the bottom here, once it's all done, it'll say schedule, and it'll show up here on your scheduled posts. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Stephen put a great video on YouTube about how to do that more in depth and a little bit slower, but I just thought it would be worth going through. You can set your posts to expire. I would avoid that at all costs. Just leave it. There's no need to muddy up the waters for yourself. So here, again, this is your page. If you're running ads, the ad center is going to be here as an option. I am running a boosted post right now, so it'll tell you I've got $16 of spend. It's an active post, and it's reached 1,700 people so far. No one's emailed me about it though, but that's okay. I'm just trying to get my name out there. Then you have your inbox, also up here at the toolbars on your Facebook page. Your inbox links only to Facebook and Instagram. but it's really nice because you can manage your communications on your desktop. If you wanted to like manage it at once, you don't have to jump between platforms. COVID-19 is a business research, no need for that. Managing jobs, unless you're hiring somebody and you want to put it out there, but for the most part, we don't have any need for that really. And then insights. Notifications usually is up here with the code thing. So here are your notifications. You'll see you can mark them as read. You can go through them. I have my notifications set for the third-party sites and the groups like Shenandoah Valley. I have them set to come to my Happy Homes because I'm on those pages as Happy Homes. And then here are insights, which I think are really important. So I did not post a lot this past week. And when I was engaging on the insights and looking things through, I found that there was a lot of red. And it's because that's what's going to happen is you're going to see your behavior is going to drive activity. And if you start to fall off and not post as much, the algorithms will kind of slow down your engagements because people aren't going to be seeing you to engage with you. And if they're not engaging with you, your posts will be showing up less. So it's this vicious cycle. And it's really important that you maintain that consistency and you set yourself a schedule and you post regularly because you will see a direct correlation based on the activity and the insights. And the insights overall can show you a whole bunch of different options here from your insight on your followers and the people who like you, the people who are viewing you, how many people are previewing your page, how many people liked your page. So I had 2 more likes this week. I didn't do any stories. So that's nothing. Anybody who recommends you, you're gonna see these things. I don't have to walk you through them. If you click on the eyes, it tells you the number. It tells you what each individual item is, but you'll see you want positives. You want to be in the greens. You want to make sure that you are being consistent enough to actively get people to engage with your page. And as you get those engagements, they'll tell you what those engagements are and how much you've improved or not improved a week over week. Is that clear? I just want to make sure I'm communicating this to you guys. Okay, I guess so. No hands raised. Here is one of the post engagement or post insights that I personally am a fan of looking at because it helps me to decide how I want to post and what kind of posts I want to do. So the type of post will tell you it's a photo, it's a link to an ad, or rather to an article like we were talking about, that content. And you're targeting to the public as opposed to just friends. If you see a little cluster of people in here, that means your settings are off and you're sending it just to the people who are following your page. And you want to change those settings to make sure you're sharing everything publicly and that everybody can see everything that you're doing. Reach specifically is the number of people who have seen it, how many pages or feeds it's come across. And then engagement is broken down into the number of likes, comments, or shares. And then post clicks, like I said, is not necessarily telling you who's clicked on the link itself in the post, but rather who has hit the see more button, maybe clicked on the post to get to your page, or to click on a comment and see what somebody wrote on a comment. It's not a very specific activity, but it's just any clicking that has happened in that post. And then here at the very bottom of your insight are pages to watch. I like to do this because I like to watch some of our competitors' pages and see what they're doing. So you can see here there's activity in terms of engagement week over week, how many posts people are doing and how many engagements they're having. So you can see Dan Whitaker here has 10,000 engagements. I also know that he's been posting sponsored content. So when I went into his page to figure out what is this guy doing that he's got so much engagement, I realized that he was sponsoring content. And that drove me to boost a post and see what kind of engagements I can get if I boost my post and get out there. And it's more or less a comparison and something to temper yourself over to see what kind of content they have, what's getting the most likes and engagement, and then mimicking that behavior for yourself. And it's a nice way to kind of gauge and compare. Any questions? No questions. This is like talking into the black hole, Stephen.
I will make a comment. So stay right here on this screen.
Yes, down.
When I look at our go up to the top, right there. So when I look at our company stuff and to see basically if I'm trying to judge the effectiveness, I look at those green arrows. You know, I want to make sure that I'm improving my metrics every week. So I'm not always concerned with the raw numbers. And this is just my personal thing. And this is just what I look at. So it doesn't matter, you know, however you guys want to do it, it's fine. But I like to know that I'm making a difference every week. So like when Andrea started with our social campaigns, we were seeing great we still are. I mean, you know, we're seeing improvement every week. So we're building that momentum. So anytime you're seeing those green arrows saying your engagement is up, your page likes are up, your post reach is up, that's a great thing. And that's what I look at to kind of say, am I on the right track? Am I really making the right choices?
Yeah, totally. And just to reiterate that, when you're looking, you'll see, like I said, direct correlation between your activity and these numbers. When I was prepping for this course on Tuesday, I hadn't posted a photo or a video since I think it was Saturday. And in those 4 days, I saw a bunch of red. So what did I do? I jumped online 2 days ago and I posted 2 photos in a row, and now I'm back to a bunch of green. So a lot of this has to do with what Stephen was talking about last week in regards to consistency of posting and consistency of presence. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. And as we talked about last week, so much of that is driven by algorithms. If you're not posting, people aren't engaging. So when you do post, it's showing up less and less on people's feeds, and it's lessening that engagement. And it's this cycle where you're kind of creating your own fate. So if you are consistent with it and you're scheduling not just articles, but photos and videos and other ways to engage people, then you will see those green numbers. And there are here, I'll show you in the posts. I specifically link Instagram for this reason, because it's easy for me to post photos and to post other images and video and not have to post in 2 places. And then this was an Instagram post that I posted yesterday, but then I had here, of course, now I'm showing you all that. I noticed my engagement was down. I posted 3 things and I went back up to green. You know, so you have your photo posts, video posts, and then you have articles and shares, just things of interest that you think your users might like. I wanted to point this out here, services, which is something that as realtors, a lot of realtor pages leave empty, but I think they're worth having fun with and putting in there if anybody wants to see what you do. I don't know why it's not loading now. So I created 3 different services where somebody can go in and see what I offer, and they can email me directly from the user page about this service. And you could say, how much is your home worth? And then I did this little picture here with a little thumbnail picture. I used Canva for this. I'm a huge fan of Canva for creating your own content. And then you just put like a little blurb. It asks you to set up how much time it takes on average to get to these points, or to have to use these services. So I did how much is your home worth, the home buying experience for anybody who's interested in buying a home, and I put like a fancy little kitchen here, and then the rent versus buy with a living room photo. And I used Canva to create these images very easily. And here on the sidebar, So up here is where you're going to manage your
Hey,
page.
Nicole.
Yeah.
So if a customer were to click on that, does it just like contact? Is it like a contact me form, or what exactly does it do?
You can go from the customer experience and go in and like message about these things.
Okay,
Like,
so it prompts them to send you an IM, like a Facebook message.
Let me see if we can view it, and I can't view my page publicly and then click on all the pieces.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just curious what it was gonna. So yes, it's a call to action to answer Sheila's question in the chat. I was just curious what the result was. So it's a message. It'll pop up like a private message, or not an email or anything.
I did it a week ago, so I haven't seen it in real time. I just know that they can go in there, and I believe if you click it, that it lends you to the IM.
Okay.
The messaging, and then you can get that in your notifications and in your inbox. I will say this, I did get a call from my sponsored ad. That was exciting. I wish they filled out the form so I could see what it was. Right, and then events here I think is also important, especially as we are doing virtual open houses and things like that. You can create an event and then you can boost it. So once you've put an event into the system, you can actually pay for and boost that event, much like you would any ad or other post. So people can see it publicly as a sponsored ad. And I actually got, as a result of my boost, I got 39 RSVPs to my open house that day, which was really nice. And then I invited those people to like me. When you boost, in terms of inviting friends to the page and getting more followers, when you boost a post or you pay for a post and people like that post, you can go in, click on the people who like your page or like the post, and you can invite them to your page. So this is not a good example because I know everybody here, but when I had the listing ad engine running for my listing on Homer, I wound up with about 20 different complete and total strangers liking my page by going into those ads and inviting anybody who liked the pictures, because it's a beautiful home and the pictures were pretty. So as people are looking through their feed, they might not be engaging or inquiring or filling out a lead form, but they might see the picture and like it because it's a pretty picture. And what I did was every time I got a notification about that, I went in and invited whomever liked it. And a lot of them are people that I didn't know because I was paying for that engagement. And a lot of people liked my page, which is really nice. And now I'm seeing little by little, they are engaging and liking photos and commenting, which was cool because it's nice to get interaction from people that you don't know. Okay. Any questions about Facebook? How do I move this? There we go. No more questions about Facebook? All right, I'm going to talk about Instagram now, which I think might be of a lot of value for you guys. I love Instagram. It's, for me, one of my absolute favorite social media platforms. It actually literally means instant telegram, which is how they got the name. And the app creators chose that name kind of off of reminiscent of what it was like for us or in the early years using Polaroids and getting instant satisfaction from seeing the Polaroids pop out of the page. So the goal of Instagram is to post in real time and to kind of capture those moments of whatever it is, whimsy or your home. And I have a video that I'm going to share about posting to Instagram because you can't post from a desktop without involving a third-party app. But I thought for the purposes of just general Instagram information, we would start at the desktop before I then show you the video of how to post. So your profile should be short and sweet. I always recommend doing your profile from your phone because it's easier access to emojis. There is a ton of emoji websites out there where when you're using it on your desktop, you can copy paste emojis. One of them is Get Emoji, and it is all the emojis that are available on the smartphone technology, but you can find the emoji on the desktop and then literally copy and paste it from that website into whatever you're using on the desktop. So it's great for if you're sending out emails, if you wanted to put, you know, emojis into the emails that you can't find through Gmail. If you're creating something in Canva and you wanted to put emojis onto the picture, you can do it that way. But I like to use the emojis in my profile because Instagram is very visual. Like Instagram is all about what you're seeing. People are not reading on Instagram. They're scrolling, they're looking, and keeping the profile emoji and fun and short just to tell people who you are is really what's most important. So I have the house emoji, my family emoji, books, and a little bit about me. You only get one link on Instagram. So I like to say use it wisely. Now, I use a third-party app called Linktree. It's $6 a month, and what Linktree does is it allows me to provide links that are associated with photos in the profile where I don't have to change the link constantly, and you can't put links into the content of the posts. So I'm going to show you this in real time so you see what I'm talking about. Here is Steve DeBruler approved me to use this. He said it does satisfy the one link click. So what I did was I took Canva, I created a white picture, and then I put the text of all the information that we need to make that thumbnail photo in my Linktree. So what happens is, if you didn't do that, this would have to be your vanity website. But if you wanted to share articles related to photos, there's nowhere else to put them. So you'll see here, I created this Linktree page, and these are all direct links to articles. So my most recent link was a Rolling Stone article. Then I likened what I did to the Instagram post was I made, here it is. This is the Instagram post. I said, okay, everybody, if you were stuck in quarantine, which TV show would you want to be stuck in? And check it out. See, got people replying, telling me what they want to do. This was a great way to get engagement because people love to have an opinion. I'm asking them for their opinion, and everybody knows what happens on social media. You ask for opinion, and sure as hell, everybody's going to have one. So I posted these 6 sets, and I said, you know, which one would you want to be stuck in? And I chose these off of a Rolling Stone article that was the 100 greatest TV shows of all time. But I don't want to just tell people about the article. I want people to see, let me see this article. So I write link in bio because they can't put the link in the physical content of the post. And they would go to my bio, which is this. They click Linktree, which is now this. And then here's the article for them to click on. 100 TV shows of all time. And it might seem like a convoluted way to go about it, but it's actually a very common practice on Instagram to have something like a Linktree link because people want to engage and you need to give them that option to further engage. So I do my monthly blog with my interviews and I will post pictures. I spoke with a painter last time. I'll post the pictures and I can't say, you know, go to my blog or go to my website, then go to my blog. And then when you get to the blog, look for this content. It's just, it's too much work. So rather you see it here, I say link in bio, then you go to the link and that's what it is. So those are 2 different examples of making that one link count. Is there any questions about Linktree or about the link and creating your profile? No. Okay. Let's see. Also on your profile page here, you'll see there are saved stories. Instagram, you can do stories, which are just snippets in 15-second videos. Do I see a question? May have questions when I work on it. Totally. That's fine, Sheila. You can always ask. I'm here for you. And you can, when you have a story, if you think it's a story that you want to keep or people might find fun or interesting or something that shows your personality, like this was mine, you know, is your realtor experience comfortably clean or do you feel the shine? Like I saved that because I thought that was funny. And this is from the Sheets car wash. And I added a bunch of little doodads on there and, you know, gifts. And this is another one, my reading nook at home. I love to read. I thought it was funny that Thea was sitting there and it's a little bit of home. So it fits who I am. And you can save stories that you think speak to who you are and show your personality and keep them here. So if somebody wanted to click through, they could see, you know, this is another one that I saved because I love to do this at my open houses. So this is what your profile is on Instagram and how it tells the world who you are. And then let's see. So posts, there's 3 kinds of posts you can make on Instagram. First is of course a photo. Then you have short videos, which are less than 60 seconds and the whole video will show up on Instagram without having to go to IGTV. And what IGTV is, it is a second part of Instagram where you go when you have videos that are longer than 60 seconds. So I do my Thursday thoughts, as you may or may not see, every Thursday. And I really do wear a lot of black. And all of these videos, 60 seconds of them are on my post. And if somebody wants to keep watching, they can then go to IGTV and finish out the video. And you'll see your IGTV numbers sometimes are a little bit larger than your post numbers because it's the people who are going to see you in IGTV. So those are the 3 kinds of regular posts. And then of course your story posts, which you saw my saved stories here, but I don't have one currently to share with you. Now I want to talk about hashtags. Hashtags are pretty critical to the Instagram experience, more so than in Facebook. And up here in your profile, these hashtags don't exist to be found. So somebody's going to type in Happy Homes VA. My profile is not going to pop up as a hashtag search item. The reason why I put Happy Homes VA in my profile is because it's branding. I basically am subtly telling people, if you tag me as a person, you know, you want to use the hashtag Happy Homes VA when you're doing something that's related to my profile. And so if I have a client who posted something on Instagram about them being in their new home, they would know from this to tag Happy Homes VA. And when you click on the Happy Homes VA, you see all the posts that are affiliated with that. And it's mostly my stuff because it's my post, my hashtag. When you are using tags in a post, you get up to 30. And that's 30 with everything. Not just between the comments, between the post, it's 30 total hashtags. I have, and you'll see in the video where I actually walk through a post, I keep on my phone in the notes about 20 hashtags that I like to commonly use. And then I'll copy and paste those into the Instagram page on a comment, and I will adjust and work them based on the photo itself. So when you are looking for tags, and that hashtag for real estate sheet that Stephen had given me is actually a really great resource. You want to look for hashtags that have high use. So when you type a hashtag in, let's say Virginia Homes. Okay, so you'll see here, Virginia Home has 2,787 posts, but Virginia Homes has 1,196. So I would recommend using the homes plural, because what this is telling me is that this is a hashtag that gets a lot of engagement and use. Virginia homes for sale, 1,200 posts. It's a reasonable amount. I like to pick things that have 5,000 or more unless it's something specific to branding. And the reason why is because people will look and search by tags. So I'm selling a home, I want to buy a house in Virginia, and I'm going to come to Instagram and I'm going to go to Virginia homes for sale. And this is what I'm looking at. So this home might be a home for me that I want to buy. These might just be pictures of houses that are available, you know, but if I'm looking to buy, and this is a resource of how I want to find a house for sale in Virginia, that's something that I might do, is go for a tag like this. Now let's look and see what VA homes for sale brings up. 2,000 posts. So if you're selling a home, you might want to do both. And see, this person here, she did both, Shanita, and she popped up on the top for everything. Where is she? Licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. But you want to think about hashtags as a way to capture engagement and interest. The hashtags should be about the post, and they should be about what you're seeing. Like if I have a hashtag, or if I have a picture of a dog, don't use hashtag cat. As simple as that sounds as an example, it's really an important thing to think about, because what's going to happen is people who start to see consistently that you're using tags that are that are not appropriate or associated with those photos, they're going to stop following you. And they're gonna, you know, not even engage with your page. They're gonna ignore it. You want to keep things consistent to the photos. So in my notes, I have tags that are like home buying, home selling. But for example, when I posted this yesterday, I took those tags out because this is a decor photo. This has nothing to do with home buying and selling. So it's about maintaining that integrity with your page. Now, as far as spacing is concerned, everybody does it differently. I find that the best practice that works for me is to have your post and if you want to put emojis, it's a signature of mine. I love to put emojis, a home that loves whatever I'm talking about. And then I leave 3 dots, and every single post I have has detail-oriented, experience-focused, and results-driven realtor. And then I throw in a second hashtag or a little bit about what I'm looking at. Because the reality is, if I take out art loving, these tags have nothing to do with this picture. But by putting art loving in there, it now associates why I put this picture up, and it associates me with the photo. Here is a trick, and I'll show you on notes. Okay, when you are typing a post on Instagram, never put a space before you enter. And the reason why is because Instagram is not set up to read new space line breaks unless you're doing it directly from the character of the last word or emoji you've written. So again, in this case, if I put a space, if I hit enter or return here, the next line will show up 2 lines down, just like the cursor did. But if I hit the M and then I go space, space, or I hit 1 space and then I hit enter, Instagram's post will show whatever words that are following right next to it. So don't put a space, right? So again, if this is a new line, it needs to be a new line from here. If I did this and then I made it a new line, when you post it, it'll show up again like this. This was something that was hard to convey, and I want to make sure that's clear, because you don't want all of your content to be in one big jumbled paragraph, and this is how you avoid it. But if you're not if you're not creating new line breaks from the exact point of the last line, it's going to put it back all together and not give you those line breaks. I see a comment. Okay, is that, did I make that clearer, Sheila? I know it's like sometimes it sounds like that in here and I'm not clear coming out, so I appreciate you asking. So what I did here was that I made the line break immediately after the laptop emoji. If I hit a space and then line break, this period would have shown up here. And then I post with the basic, always the same. After I'm done with Realtor, I post. And then I go in on a comment, and I add the rest of my emoji, the rest of my hashtags. And I try to keep the hashtags to 28, or like, because we get 30, but sometimes I overdo it and I wind up getting it rejected because there's too many tags, and then I have to go back in and do it again. So just to be on the safe side, I always go short of 30 because I don't feel like being rejected. So let's see, we talked about that. And then the 3 dots is a way to separate because you don't want to inundate people with information. So I always like to do the 3 dots because it spaces the comment. So people are looking through your Instagram post and engaging with it without being inundated with hashtags, which is, it's hashtag fatigue. It's like actually a thing. You don't want people to see your post and then all the hashtags on there. Spacing and posting. Okay. So I thought we could talk about page goals in terms of why Instagram. So again, Instagram is completely visual. It's not like Facebook, which is a little bit more post engaged. So with Instagram, you want to, as far as page goals, have a generally consistent look in terms of colors and tones. So if you scroll through my page, it's very similar. Like you can tell that it's nice, all like neutral tones, occasional color, like over here, pops of color, okay. But when people are looking to follow and they're interested in seeing what a profile, if it's worth following, they're going to look for that consistency. And the reason why is because you want your feed to be filled with things that you're interested in. And if you look at my page, you can see it's clear that I'm a realtor. You've got house pictures, you've got lifestyle pictures, you've got art pictures, books, decor, things that are home related. And someone can look through this and say, okay, I'm going to follow this person because their page content is consistent and I know what I'm going to get. That I'm not going to follow this person and one day it's going to be like hot pink flamingos and the next day it's going to be a photo of books. And then the third day it's, you know, meals at the local restaurant. People follow where they know they're going to get consistent content. And that's why as a page goal, you want to make sure that your content overall has a feel to it. And as realtors, I encourage us to convey through that feed that we're realtors. You know, you want to pepper it with your personality. You want to pepper it with some silly things. But the reality is, if you're only ever posting food, is somebody going to look at your page and think you're a realtor, or are they going to think you're a food poster?
Hey, you talking about me?
You're not a realtor, so you don't count, Steven.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Noodles aren't food.
You know, but if you love food, post food amongst all the other stuff. You know, so here, when you look at my profile, this is what you can expect from my page. I'm a proud realtor. I'm a happy wife and mom. I'm an avid reader. I like nature. I love art and design. I love food. Ironically, I changed it when I was prepping for this class because I don't really post pictures of food. I love food, so I just let people know. But you'll see these things. Art and design aficionado. There you go. Design photos, house decor photos, nature photos, something to do with design, family. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you what to expect, and then I'm showing it to you. So as people are following me, there's not going to be any surprises. I like your photos of your food, Steven. All right, so
Yeah.
I love food, don't get me wrong. Now, here's the thing about Instagram. It's not always realistic that you're going to be in a moment and taking a photo that moves you. And I think it's really important that your voice is your own and that you are true to who you are, and people will see that. You know, I notice when I'm like, oh, I haven't posted in a while, and now I have to, you know, force a post. It's so funny. I get like no engagement. You wind up with like half of the people who usually like it. People see it. People are like, this isn't genuine, this isn't sincere, this feels forced. And it happens because I've managed to successfully convey who I am, and you know my voice. So for me, I always recommend when you're around and something inspires you, you don't always have to post it right away, but definitely take that picture. Because when it's time to post and you actually want to put a post out there and you realize you haven't, if there's nothing inspiring to you in the moment, you might have something in your feed that inspired you previously. And that's where it's fun to use hashtags like latergram or yestergram, because it's telling people that this isn't in the moment, but it does inspire me and I wanted to post it and I just didn't post it in real time. And you'll see like hashtag, let's see, latergram, 50 million posts for latergram. Yestergram, 113,000 posts. You know, so people do use that. Good metrics to measure by, about 5% to 10% engagement. So if you can, like I have 214 followers, I probably know 60. So for me to get 8 to 10 means that I'm doing something right. 8 to 10 likes, engagements, comments, that kind of thing. If I get 15 to 20 or more, I know I'm doing something right, and I try to replicate the sentiment of what that post is, because clearly that's something that's working. So those are the kinds of things that I think of when I look to my likes and engagements on Instagram. You know, if I'm getting a ton of likes on something, I might want to try and recreate what that sentiment was in that photo or in that video. Let's see here. As far as follower engagement is concerned, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. If somebody likes, if somebody comments, if somebody makes a comment on your page, respond. Like it. You can heart a comment. You can respond to that comment. Social media is all about that engagement. So it doesn't matter who it is, if you know them, if you don't know them, definitely engage and re-engage when they comment or like on your post. How to get followers? I'm in a secret, not so secret battle with Liz Crumline, because I gave her these tips and she grew from 60 followers to over 250. And then I was like, maybe I should follow my own advice. And I'm at 214 lagging behind. And I just keep trying to go. Little self-made healthy competition there. But here's some ways that you can get followers, and it works. It totally works. So you want to find well-known or famous people who fit your brand intentions and your interests. So like pages like Tom Ferry, Tony Robbins. For me, I love The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, I think he's awesome and he's a huge motivator, so I like his page. Then he posted some things with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart also, his page is very motivating, especially after he had that unfortunate accident last year. So like, I liked him. Find other realtors like them, photographers. It doesn't matter where they are. You just, if they have a lot of followers, if they have a lot of engagement, you want to start liking them. And what you'll see is you're going to get people who are liking you back. And that engagement is just putting yourself out there into Instagram, and people are going to start following you. So like I wrote motivators and coaches, other realtors and celebrities. Tom Ferry. Yeah, totally. Exactly, Sheila. There's a lot. You can see here, who am I following? I'll show you guys. The Honey Brothers, they followed me yesterday. I followed them. Christian Siriano, I actually emailed him the other day over this. which is fun. You can do that. Sometimes people respond.
It might be helpful if you just want to like send a list out afterwards of ones that you recommend.
Sure, I could do that. I think, yeah, I could do that for sure. And once you've followed them and you see the feed, start commenting and engaging on their pages. So The Rock posted something that I found very inspirational. I liked the comment, and then I wrote in the comments something warm and like it was typical Nicole, warm and fuzzy. And after that happened, I wound up with like 30 new followers because people liked what I wrote, and then they found me and they liked me. They followed my page. So that kind of engagement on other people's pages, it really works. There's one called the Actually Agents. It's like totally obnoxious memes about real estate, but it's hysterical. And he posts so much nonsense, but I'll engage on his page. And inevitably, every time I engage on his page, either if he responds to me, which he sometimes does, I'll wind up with like 2 or 3 followers. But even if he doesn't, I'll maybe wind up with 1. And those are just slowly growing followers, and they're other realtors. So, you know, you never know where your business is coming from. And following and getting engagers and users is about volume. So as far as other things, use, follow, engage with hashtag searches. So one of the popular ones is Realtors of Instagram, right? 567,000 posts. This is a great way to find people to follow. If you look this up and you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's a realtor that looks like fun. I could be friends with her. Oh, look at this guy. Let's click on here. And you start clicking. And if you see profiles that you like, good vibes only. Here we go. I'll show you an example. This guy. If I loved his content, which I don't, I'd be inclined to follow him. And that's how you can find people to engage with based on similar hashtag interests that you have. And people follow back. Another thing, of course, like we keep saying, post consistently and often, and that's how you maintain engagement. I use what's called Reports Plus, and it's an app on my phone. There are a myriad of follower and engagement apps out there, and that app is directly linked to my Instagram account. And I manage my followers by using that app. So if I see that I'm losing followers, I go in, it allows me to see those followers and why, or if the account's been deactivated, and if it's a real person. If I see consistently that I'm losing real people, I reevaluate my page because there's a reason why I'm losing them. There's something about my content which is driving them away. Or in some cases, I lose people if I haven't posted in days. If I'm not posting over the course of a week, it's inevitable I'll lose 1 or 2 people. You know, and that's why it's so important to stay.
There's a question, Nicole.
Yeah.
Melinda says, I don't understand the difference between the posts that disappear in a day and the ones that stay in the feed.
The posts that disappear in the day are your stories. So Instagram stories are 15-second snippets. Unfortunately, I don't have a story, so I can't show it to you. Let me see if I have a story here. Here's the Weaving Team. This is a very good friend of mine. He's a high producer for Element in New York City. So a story can be anything. He's just feeling motivated today, so that's what he put up. And then the second story is a little snippet about what he just has to say.
Wendy wants to know if you can post too much.
Not on Instagram, no. These tips about getting followers I got from an article from a guy who posts on Instagram a minimum of 5 times a day. And he went from 100 plus followers to 5,000 followers in the course of 6 weeks. And he's doing everything I'm telling you to do, but he's doing it 5 times a day. Now, when you get tons of followers in clips like that, a lot of times they're bogus accounts. They like have no followers, 1 follower, they could be bots. So that's why I think the reports or some similar app that tells you about people who unfriend you or unfollow you is so important, because it allows you to see, are you losing followers because they're bot accounts that have been deactivated, or are you losing followers that are real people? And the Reports Plus app tells you not only who's following you and if they've unfriended you, but if you follow them back. Anytime anybody follows me, I follow them back. No matter what, I follow them back. And if I see that that person has unfollowed me, I just go and unfollow them. It's not petty. I'm just cleaning up the engagement for myself. Yes, I'm actually going to show you, Sheila. I made a video. I just want to make sure I covered everything. Tracking followers for posting success. Yes. Okay. Okay, I made a video I'm going to show you guys, and I'll try to play it and pause it, where it actually went into... That's Mushy. Say hi to Mushy. This is a video. I actually screen recorded the action of going into Instagram. 1 second, I just want to shrink this page. I don't want to see. Okay. So this is my home screen, and you're going to see I opened up Instagram. I'll try to pause it and walk you through it. And this is my personal page. So the Pretty Mess is a housewife, okay? And you'll see I go into my home page here, and then I click at the top. Ooh, I'm going to, go back 10 seconds. Sorry, I recorded it so quickly in action. Okay, so Sheila, this is what you were asking about. When you go to the top to add, when you're in your home page, it asks you if you want to add an account, which you can, or you can switch to another account.
Okay.
So you can create your own account using this button, or you can do it online on a desktop. I would encourage you to do it on your phone. And then I'm in my personal page, Nick Lupow. It's me at a pool table. And then I'm going to, as you can see in the video, click now onto Happy Homes, and it's going to bring me to my Happy Homes page. So here you see on the mobile screen what it looks like, and the Linktree link to those secondary resource sites. And I actually will hit the more, so you can see that here. This is what it shows you, how it looks on the mobile app. You can see this is highlighted here. I'm about to click on the Linktree link. And this is that Linktree app to those third-party articles. And again, this is up here. This satisfies the one-click rule to get to our information. I made that photo again in Canva, and these are the articles themselves. So like, for example, I'm sure we all have them. I love mine. I have a ceramic tree that was my grandmother's that lights up, with the little, at Christmas time, those ceramic trees with the little plastic things that you light up. And Southern Living posted a great article about the history of those ceramic trees. So I took a photo of mine, and I wrote about how it's been in our family for a very long time. And then I added, and then I said, check out Southern Living's article about the history of these, because it's really cool. So the link was in the bio, and then I put that link here. I actually got a lot of clicks on that. I think a lot of people like those trees. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually going to show you how I posted yesterday's post. I'm playing around with the aesthetics here. Composition is important. You just don't, it's okay to have things that are willy-nilly and silly, but you don't just want to throw a photo up. You want to be a little bit intentional about that picture and try to make it look good. They have here, I went into the edit down on the bottom, and I clicked it levels it out, and you can toggle this to level the photo. It wasn't level in my opinion. So I toggled it, and you see I'm moving it a little bit here. And then I hit done, and then I go back into the filters. I like to play with the filters. Don't always use filters. Try to have some images not filtered. but you'll get to see what you like in terms of how the image looks. If it's crisp, it's pretty, the colors, just you want to look at that. Ultimately, I settled on Juno, I think. Was it Lark or Juno? There. And then I go in, I'm writing my caption out. You're going to see me in real time typing. I recorded this from my phone as I was doing it. Sorry, it's just me typing, so it's going to take a minute. Okay, you're going to see here at the end of my emojis how I just hit enter and I don't make any spaces. And this is what I was talking about earlier, is that if you create spaces between the last character and hitting enter, that first dot would have wound up back at the top. It wouldn't have been the 3 dots that you usually would see. I struggled over which tech emoji to use. That took a minute, sorry. And then here you'll see you put in, as you're putting in hashtags, things will pop up and recommend for you. So when you're researching your tags for your consistent tag use, you're going to want to look at those numbers, and then as you're typing them in, it'll give you recommendations. So here you'll see, I was like, which art lover, how would be best? So I put in art LOV, and I was like,
hey Nicole, can you pause for a sec?
Yeah, of course.
There's a question. Sheila's got a couple questions. Sheila, you might just want to jump in with your questions, because you're asking about a circle, and I'm not sure because this is past. And then also, she's wondering how you recorded the video.
The circle that is compliant for the 1-click rule. What do you? We can't read what's in there. Can you just email us later when you compile?
I'll go back.
Today?
You mean this circle? This one?
At the top of that, right there.
Yes. It's all the stuff that's required. Our brokerage address, information, phone number, and where I'm licensed. And my name. And the office phone number, not your private number. It says Nicole Lewis, Coldwell Banker Premier, 1682 South Pleasant Valley Drive, Winchester, VA, 2260. Oh, it should be 22601. I'll change it. The office phone number, and then licensed realtor in Virginia.
Thank you.
I recorded this from my phone. iPhone actually has a way to screen record in it. So unfortunately, I know you have an Android. I don't know how to screen record, but if you have an iPhone and you do the swipe up action, I'm trying to, come on, swipe, swipe, swipe. There it is. If you have an iPhone, you have the swipe up actions in the control center, it's that will record whatever activity you're doing. And if you need me to show you how to get here or how to put it on there, just give me a call. It's 2 seconds. I'll walk you right through it. So here we go. I can get this. So in this part of, you'll see I was trying to figure out which, should I use Art Lover, Art Loving, and Art Loving had 5,000 posts. So that's why I went with that. And when you're putting your tags in and you're typing out your tags, you'll see it pop up with the number of associated posts to that tag, which will help you better discern which tags you want to use. So I always double check my work. This is important also. Tag as many people that are applicable to the post, and always put your locations. So if this was a post, let's say I'm in Old Town and I took a photo in front of El Centro. I want to tag El Centro. I'm going to tag Old Town Winchester. I'm going to tag Frederick County. If the photo is really cool looking and it's like a beautiful image, I'm going to tag Visit Virginia. And excuse me, I'll give you guys ideas and I'll follow up with that on make like a little summary for some ideas of specific tagging. But it's another way to engage and get followers because you're tagging these businesses that may have followers who are interested in seeing what's being tagged. And then I also find it's useful because sometimes if you post something that maybe the city of Winchester is interested in, they could repost it. That hasn't happened to me yet, but that kind of stuff happens. And then always post where you are, give yourself a location tag because people do look and search in Instagram by location. Happens all the time. So I double check my work here, tag, tag, tag. Now it's posted. So I'm gonna go into my notebook, my notes here, and I have already saved, why isn't it popping up? Here we go. I already have all my hashtags ready to rock and roll in my iPhone. And I split it up specifically into like home buying and selling verbiage and tags, and then like general lifestyle tags, VA Life, Virginia Life. And I went in and I looked up all these tags to make sure they had at least like 1,000 to 5,000 posts because I don't want to be wasting hashtags on things that are irrelevant to people. If you see fewer than 100 posts, I would avoid it because no one's really looking at it. No one's using that hashtag. But one letter, simply pluralizing something can create more posts or more, you know, could be a more popular hashtag. So play around with those to see what works for you. So I have this set so I don't have to think about it because every post I'll go and I'll put it into, like I'm doing here, I'm copying it and I'm going to put it into the comment of this post. And then you'll see I go through, this has nothing to do with home buying, nothing to do with home selling. So I make sure to take those out because you don't want hashtag fatigue over something that's not even applicable to your post. And then I'll be done here erasing these in a minute. And then you'll see I go in and I add posts. I add now things that are specifically related to what is in the image. It's recycled goods. It's do-it-yourself art. It's a home decor project. And I'm looking and I'm typing in, and as I'm typing those posts in, old tech, see, old tech 34/7, old technology 26. I'm picking the ones that I like and popping them in there. Flip phones. And then once this is done, I'm posting. Right, like I typed in decor inspiration and then I saw decor inspo had also 683,000 likes or 300, where was it here? Decor inspiration was 613 and decor inspo was 680. So I added it as a hashtag because obviously it has a lot of engagement, 680,000, you know. And what's nice about this is from this post, I got 3 followers yesterday. So people who obviously, like one of them was that Honey Brothers group. They are, they recycle wood and decor for homes, and they liked me. So I liked them back. And then this is the actual post as you see it on my phone. So it's a lot of information. Before I stop the share, does anybody want to see anything again? Or just like a click back, or anybody have anything specific that they want to click back and ask about? All right, I will stop the screen share. Does anybody have any questions? It's a lot. If you're curious about how to use Linktree, let me know. I can walk you through. It'll take me 5 minutes on a private call with you. Canva, again, I'll put all of these sites. Stephen and I will kind of review and go through what needs to be summarized a little bit more, and I will put that together for you guys and send it out. But if you need help with any of it, let me know. Any other questions? Google Android screen reorder and you will get apps and videos of how to. Oh, recorder. Oh, cool, Beth. Thank you. I'm not familiar with Android, unfortunately. So.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Nicole. That was great information. And as she said, we will try to boil it down for you, send you some links and best practices and things like that. But remember, this will be eventually posted. So we'll send out the recording to the cloud video on Zoom. And then in a few days, we'll take it down and then we will migrate it over to the training library on YouTube.